Yes, please.
Judge, in anticipation of the next witness, so that we don't have to take another break, I think the state wants to make an offer at this time.
All right.
So at this time, we will offer 363, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 371, 370, 372, 373, 374, 377, 376, 369, and 380. For all purposes, we also intend to offer 375, 378, 379, 381. The court has already indicated that these are not admissible. We'll offer these for record purposes.
I have no objection to those four for record purposes.
All right. Objections to the others?
Your Honor, my objections to the other is, goes to my objections, and again, just for the record, this doesn't apply to this particular witness, but the next witness I understand is going to be a witness offering testimony regarding victim impact testimony, and I understand that my testimony to the physical testimony itself would have to be made contemporaneous with the testimonies, but we do object to the admission, and the state's or the courts have indicated it does intend to admit the exhibits that the state just outlined for the court. The court has done an in-camera inspection of all the exhibits. There were 19 total. The court excluded 4. We objected to the remainder of the 15, and based upon the fact that we believe that they are duplicitous, to the fact that they are redundant to the oral testimony that's already been given. There was testimony given at the guilt innocence phase of this trial, which established the background and nature and the quality and character of the life of the decedent in this case. That is before the jury. What the state is attempting to do now here in the punishment phase of the trial is an attempt to re-offer, to go back into all of the same content and character of the testimony that they offered at the guilt innocence phase. And the purpose of which is to seek to inflame the jury, which will take focus away from the issues that the jury is going to be constitutionally mandated to consider regarding the special issues before them. Certainly, the defense does recognize, and we are guided by the mandates of the Supreme Court, particularly in the Payne decision. But in that court, it gives guidance to the lower courts that what is allowed is a brief glimpse into the life of the decedent to show, to give information pertaining to that and to the loss that the community suffered. But it does talk about that it has to be in some way limited so that it cannot be a violation of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution by improperly inflaming the juror and taking their focus away from the moral blameworthiness of the defendant. The loss of and the particulars of the victim itself are not the overriding concern. They're certainly a factor that can be considered as a circumstance of the offense, but it goes to the issues regarding the deathworthiness of the defendant go back to the blameworthiness of the defendant. And we believe that this is excessive, and we're going to, I assume that based upon the fact that the state is seeking to offer all these photographs, that they're going to seek to come in here and offer an overabundance of victim impact testimony, which we will object to at that time. But we just want the record to reflect that we did object to each of the exhibits that the state has tendered to the court, and which the state intends to allow into the evidence.
Thank you.
Would you like your response, Judge? Or?
Yeah, and if I could also, which one is the one that I object to? The one on the agreements and things? Once Judge State's Exhibit 178, which has not been admitted for any purposes at this point, and for record purposes at this time.
I'm sorry, which one is that?
State's Exhibit 178, photograph that's been offered for the purposes of this bank. The state has indicated in camera that the state intends to offer states exhibits 176 as well as 178.
Yes, sir.
And we believe that the court should not allow states exhibit 178. In fact, due to the fact that we had indicated to the court that we believe 178 has no probative value to any issue before this court, that anything depicted in states 178 is prejudicial, and we had asked the court to do a 403 balancing test to determine whether or not there was any probative value to this photograph other than to simply try to inflame the jury. And with that being the case, we've indicated to the court that we believe that states 176 accomplishes the same goal of the state to bring forth a depiction of the defendant with a grimace upon his face. And we've indicated that we do not have an objection, but if the state's going to try to offer both of them, we would ask the court to make a ruling that one of them is duplicitous of the other and not allow the inclusion of both of them.
All right, well, let the record reflect that 3 exhibits were tendered to the court. The court has already excluded 1. The court has done a balancing test. The remaining 2 exhibits are admitted. Exhibit 180 was excluded by the court. The remaining 2 exhibits are admitted, and the exhibits that were read into the record by the state initially are admitted.
Thank you.
Anything further before we bring in the jury?
No, Judge. No.
May I see the lawyers real quick up here, please? All right. Okay. All right, we're ready to bring the jury. Please be seated.
Thank you, Judge. May it please the court, call Detective Eric Barnes.
Reflect this witness has been sworn.
Hi, Detective Barnes, just to reestablish, you're the same Detective Barnes that testified in this case earlier in the guilty phase, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you're the lead detective on the case involving the death of Kendra Hatcher.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Now, a couple of areas that I want to talk to you about while I have you up here. First, I want to go back to his statement, okay? And the jury has heard some of the statement that Mr. Love gave to you all. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And there are certain other areas of it that that the jury did not hear. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you were able to talk to him a little bit about some of the things that he does in his lifestyle and things about guns. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Kristopher.
Ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit number 350. Did I have you look at 2 clips or direct you to 2 clips involving the statement with Mr. Love?
Yes, you did.
Is that what State's Exhibit number 350?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer for all purposes State's Exhibit number 350. 2 clips.
Okay.
Admitted?
Commissioner Publish.
Yes, sir.
And this is about the 12th hour and 9-minute mark. Okay.
Man, the simplest way that I can tell you this is that I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that everything is going to be easy. I already know it ain't going to be easy. I'm going to pay my name on it. If I was just in here talking with no paper with my name on it, it would be kind of easy. Paper with my name on it. Well, so you, I mean, at least by you saying that, you know that in order for me to get that paper, that is not just based off of hearsay. It's hearsay still.
No, you can't get it all off hearsay. I ain't saying it ain't some hearsay.
Y'all got the girl. And most people talking about other shit. Like, what the fuck?
What girl?
Whoever.
So at this point in time, when you're talking to him, we're not at the part in time where he's even saying that he is connected with Crystal or Brenda or anything like that. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. He indicates to you, you already got the girl. And you ask him what girl?
Yes.
Well, whatever her name is. The Mexican girl.
Who told you we got her?
You.
Huh.
Come on.
There's 2 Mexican girls. Which one you talking about?
Not the one that looked white. The other one. She looked like a Mexican.
You killing me with this.
That one.
How did
Said
they?
the other one, dude. Your partner said the other one on the room.
Which one? How do you tell which one look white, which one look Mexican? What make them look white?
It's just they got that look like she looked the one, I don't even remember her name, but the one that looked white, you know what I'm talking about. She looked white. The other one looked like Mexican. When you first saw it to me, I thought they were 2 white girls. But the other one, she like her skin a little dark or some shit. She looked like a fucking Mexican.
Man,
It's her that I think I've seen before.
which one?
The Mexican girl. But I've been here thinking hard as hell.
The one that's on the run?
No, that.
The other one?
Yeah, I think I've seen her before.
Where you think you seen her?
It could be all in my area, shit. I just can't remember. I can't pinpoint the place or what happened or nothing. I know I ain't go her to kill no motherfucking body. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
Yeah, if I saw her some dope, I probably did.
What kind of dope?
If she even do weed. I said weed.
When people.
So he first starts saying, I might have sold her some dope. And then you said what type of dope you said?
Yes.
What?
He said weed.
Start calling weed dope.
I call it dope. I call it dope. All dope is dope.
Now that ain't.
They don't call cocaine. They don't call everything drugs is all dope.
Most people say it's green, selling that green. Like nobody, if you sell weed, nobody ain't calling you asking you, can I buy some dope? They ain't.
The detective ain't come and say you said weed or pills, he gonna say dope.
It's a big difference in Dallas, in Texas.
In Memphis it's dope. It's dope, it's dope. Shit.
Man, y'all got some good details on the first 48, man.
Yeah. When cause they don't solve no crime. They solve the crime that they can solve.
The female detective is pretty cool.
Shit, the female one that was actually doing the work, she quit. Got fired or something.
Yeah.
She was threatening her life and shit. She stayed about 3 houses down from my dad.
Yeah.
She moved out of Memphis completely.
So the last part, you're talking about the first 48. What's the first 48?
It's a reality TV show that focuses on homicide detectives and homicide investigations.
And they used to film here in Dallas. Is that right?
That's correct.
And they also had a crew out in Memphis following those detectives around as well.
Yes, sir.
What's up, man? You there sleep one?
So in that last clip, he's just establishing with you that he does know at least Crystal,
That's correct.
but only through maybe selling her some dope
That's correct.
or weed, whatever it is.
Yes.
You just say, what you think about?
Shit, this, that's what I think about.
Where's your light at, man?
I got my dude and bring my name
Man, when's the last time that you re-up? Re-up. Sack.
What does re-up mean?
It's a term used to resupply drugs.
Okay. What does sack mean?
Sack is referring to a sack of dope or marijuana in this case.
Don't mean to my girl, I don't be selling weed. Probably right before the first.
Right before the first.
Okay, so he says first been about a minute, and he says right before the
If she was
first.
just don't object to having the tape played and then having the talk with us. stop it and say exactly what's been said. It's repetitive and redundant.
All right, suspend.
What you normally read up with? Ounce. So that's how you sell the ounce. What you sell? Dimes?
Yeah, dimes and nicks.
Dimes and nicks.
What is a dime and what's a nick?
A dime will be about 2 grams of marijuana, and a nick would be approximately 1 gram of marijuana. The reason a dime is called a dime, the general street price of that is about $10, and the general street price for a gram of marijuana is about $5.
And then he said that he got about an ounce.
Yes.
Okay, what are we talking about as far as size amounts here?
An ounce is approximately 28 grams.
How much that run you today?
An ounce. 65.
65. How much you make off of it? Is that Reggie?
You asked him what?
I asked him if it was Reggie. Reggie is a street term given to low-grade marijuana, so it's very cheap and very low value.
How much is an ounce of Kush?
Probably about 200. Shit,
200.
You asked him about Kush. What is Kush?
Kush would be the high-grade marijuana. Kush is the opposite of Reggie or low-grade marijuana. It's very expensive.
So in relation to each other, one is $65, the other was $200-something per day.
That's correct.
I don't know, man. That's good.
No, anyway.
Yeah. So, man, so you out there hustling. You're hustling your ounce over there at Charleston Place. Got apartments getting shot up or nothing. You don't got no kind of protection, nothing like that, man. How do you protect yourself? How do you keep yourself from somebody running up on you?
When you say protection, what are y'all talking about?
Firearms.
And what do you mean when someone running up on you?
Getting robbed.
Just stay up that way, man. Ain't nobody ran up on me.
Nobody ran up on you. You ain't never had no beef with nobody over there. Who's Drake?
Drake?
Yeah.
That's my boy used to stay in 1032.
In 1032? You ever have any problems with Drake?
I had all those ass with money at one time, right here.
How long ago was that?
Right at the end of last month.
In the last month?
End of that, I still always had like $25,000.
And you tripping over $30?
Yeah, he tripping. I think he busted my fucking window out.
In your car?
Yeah.
How long you been knowing him?
Shit, not that long. Shit, I just moved over there. When I was staying downstairs, I had me.
Yeah.
I ain't really just get to know him until we moved up.
So you and him get any kind of serious beef? You been going around looking for you and stuff?
I guess so, that's what I hear.
That's what you
Shit, I'm out every day. He ain't seen me yet.
Oh yeah. And now is he trying
I
to get?
called him to tell him to come and meet me, he ain't coming.
Now I heard he been trying to get at you with a gun, man.
Where you hear that from?
I'm just saying that's what I've been hearing.
I did hear that too, so I can't say he didn't hear it. I heard that too.
So you heard he was trying to get at you with a gun and you was calling him to come see you and you...
I knew he was gonna get at me with a gun. It was a fake ass motherfucking way to talk. But he talking, I know he told a bitch that, a lady,
He told her what?
that he was looking for me, but I owe him money. And what he was gonna do to me.
What he say he was gonna do to you?
With a gun, basically, he didn't say he was gonna kill me, but
He said he got a gun and he looking for you.
that was they said. I ain't say he said.
And you said you trying to get up with him and you were gonna see what he talking about?
I called him, like, what's up? Because I gave him some money the first time. Like, I'm like, this is all I got, here you go.
And so you want to go holler at him and you ain't have a gun. When's the last time you want a gun?
Shit, it been a minute, I think.
What's a minute?
So you're asking him what at this point in time?
When was the last time that he possessed a firearm?
Okay. And at this point in time, I think you know maybe that you've already found the gun in this car.
That's correct.
He doesn't know that yet, though.
That's correct.
A couple of years. Huh?
Since then, I have all the guns I've been in Texas. I mean, about 2 years almost.
You've been here 2 years, so the last time you touched a gun, you were in Memphis.
Yeah.
So you ain't touched a gun the whole time you were in Texas.
I don't think so. Yeah, I have touched the gun, but they wouldn't mind just to let me see it and give them a motherfucker back.
When was the last time you touched a gun?
A couple of months ago.
A couple months ago? Whose gun was it?
I don't know, some nigga was trying to sell a gun.
Oh yeah, what kind of gun was it?
I think it was a 25 or 38 or some shit.
A 25 or a
I
38?
think it was a 25.
That's the only gun you
Old
touched?
school 25.
That's the last one you touched? What about that? You touched any other ones since then? That's the only gun you touched in the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was how long we take the game. Yeah. Nah. This nigga had 357 plus I touched it.
You touched 357. How long ago was that?
About a month ago.
Where were y'all at?
In Surrey.
At Surrey Road? Where was you at? Was you at somebody's house? You walking through the apartments?
Nah, he had pulled up on me and asked me that I got in conversation when he said that I looked at it and shit. It was fucked up, so I gave it back.
It was fucked up and gave it back. So you got a 25 and 357. That's the only gun you touched?
Yeah.
Okay. The last time you owned a gun was when you were in Memphis.
Yeah.
Is that when you got the current case on right now?
No.
You know that there's a current case pending on him right now and a warrant out when you're talking to him out of Memphis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's actually at a Dyersburg. We heard about an officer just right outside of Memphis.
Yes, sir.
What happened to that gun?
The one that I had in Memphis.
Yeah.
I sold it to somebody in Memphis about that.
He's talking about a different gun now that he sold after the case he got in Dyersburg.
Yes,
And he sold this to someone else in Memphis before he came here.
that's correct.
So you pretty much been flying clean since you've been down here. You really ain't been fucking with them guns, nothing like that. Nobody.
I heard chicks don't play about guns. That's why I buy an ounce of weed. I can buy more weed. I just buy it just to keep it in my pocket, get rid of it, go to the fucking house. I ain't trying to be in too much trouble. Especially I know I can't get caught on a gun. So I'm like, ain't no care. Like I got a mouthpiece. If you got a problem, you can come talk to me 9 times out of 10 when I don't have a problem. I know how to deal with life.
Yeah, you know how to handle it, huh?
Yeah. Without violence.
So what's his beef with Dre? Why is Dre coming at you with a gun? Over
He didn't come at me
25.
with no gun. He didn't come at me with no gun.
I mean, why?
He just say that. He never showed it. He never pulled a gun on me.
Okay. Nobody around the neighborhood ain't said nothing. I mean, you ain't make no kind of comments about anything.
About gun?
Yeah, I mean, in retaliation of what he was
To Dre?
Yeah, what he was supposed to do to you.
Hell no. That was the case. He drank into people in the apartments, not me. They shooting in his apartment. He can't say I did that because I was standing outside. They ain't know who did it.
He's talking about some incident that happened at Dre's apartment.
Yes,
They got shot up,
right.
but he wasn't even a part of any of that.
That's correct.
But like this, he into it. He got way more than me. People shooting at him.
Okay.
So I doubt that. Me and Dre ain't got no problem. He know that's some bullshit. He just, I don't want to call him gay, he just gay ass nigga. I ain't no reason to shoot at me. They ain't gonna shoot me all day, but you gotta be about their life. If you wanna pull up and shoot me, shoot me. I've been shot at before. I done been had guns put on me, and I'm like, bro, we ain't have a problem, man. What's the point of this?
But I know one thing, that most of the time when people have had guns pointed at them, just my experience, most of the time when people had guns pointed at them,
The shell shot.
yeah, it make them a little bit different. Especially, you've been shot for, right?
It made me different for communication wise. They used to be like silent, mean motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to communicate.
You know how to talk to people.
Can't have guns in jail.
Yeah. So your policy is no guns.
Now, yeah.
Your girl got any guns?
My girl don't got guns. Y'all searched my apartment, y'all would have found it. I found something. Found it in the car, nothing in the one, nothing. I ain't threw no guns, I ain't had no guns, I ain't shot no guns.
All right. Hey man, do me a favor. Sit tight, I'll be right back.
Right there at the end, he's still pretty confident you're not going to find that gun that's in the, that's hidden inside that car, is that right?
That's correct.
Now, did you also have an occasion to look through the phone dump that we did on, or that y'all did on his phone?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you what's been marked. State's Exhibits 351, 352, 353, 354, 355, 356. Are these extraction reports from conversations that he's had either through text messages or some sort of messaging with different individuals?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And then I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 176, 174, and 178. Are these images that were taken from his phone?
Yes, they are.
We'll offer Exhibits 174, 176, 178, and 351 through 356.
Your Honor, no objection to 174, same objection previously stated, 176 and 178, and no objections to 351 through 358.
Your objections are overruled and they're admitted.
Actually, through 356.
I'm sorry, there's 351 to 356.
Now, we had just heard you talking to Mr. Love about a relationship he has with an individual by the name of Dre. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And he was talking about how he's got no beef with Dre, and he just knows Dre from the area. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 354. The way these extraction reports work is you got to go kind of backwards on it. We'll start at the bottom and go back. And so it looks like as we're reading through these, we go from left to right. You can see that it's from an individual, or let's say to an individual. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And so these are two messages from him. One we can say, "You at the crib," and this is from that's back from 6:30. Then there's an 8/5, 2015. 8/8. Now this sometimes it picks up. This one's not to Dre. This Corey. Sometimes these extraction reports pick up other numbers.
Yes.
So we come up here to Dre. From Dre. There's a yeah. From Dre. Are you? Why don't you try? Can you read that for me?
Hey, you done yet? I'm trying to drop the hat.
You can do, I don't object to anybody reading from these documents if they can't interpret them.
Can you read? Do you understand what he's talking about there?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what he's talking about.
Judge Donovan, can we approach?
Yes.
Your man, make an objection on the record.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, we object to the prosecution asking this witness to take what appears to be a text message or a portion of the text message and have him interpret what in fact is being said and what they mean. The written word is the written word. It's there for the jury to read and interpret as they want, but the state's not entitled to have someone come over and say, this is what I think it's saying and this is what I think it means. And we're going to object to that. That allows impermissible inference by the witness, and it allows, and if the court admits it or allows it, it invites the jury to impermissibly speculate about something that may not be the correct reading or the correct interpretation. We're going to object to that.
Thank you. Mrs. Davis, respond.
No, Your Honor, I think that I'll lay the foundation that as a police officer that he's able to interpret this. And Detective Barnes, when I ask you to look at this, are you using, based on your training experience and your life as a police officer, when you read this, to interpret what you believe these statements to mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so this one statement that it is a statement from Dre on September 2nd, and what is he talking about there when he says DRP the HLF on you?
I believe he's referring to supplying Mr. Love with narcotics, and I believe the half that he's referring to is a half pound of marijuana.
Okay. And then you should make 3 or 4 a day. Do you have any idea what that means?
He's referencing $300 to $400 a day for the half pound of marijuana.
All right. So then, that same day, and these times are off, is that right? So this 3:30 in the afternoon, it looks like it's 3:30, but the times are off by, okay, so that's the correct time on this, is that at 3:34, he's saying, yeah, he's responding back to Dre, yeah, I got it. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then to Dre, yeah, when I get back out, I got you. You got some 357 bullets. What's a 357?
A 357 is a high-powered firearm, a handheld firearm.
He's asking for some bullets for that. Is that right?
Yes.
And then there's some more conversation that they have between them. There's a from WYA. WYA. Have you seen that before?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's commonly used to abbreviate where you at.
And this is at 2. Pulling up at the trap. What is a trap?
A trap is normally a residence or some kind of building used to sell illegal narcotics.
And there's quite a bit of conversations that are going back up. Now we're into September 3rd, establishing where you are, pulling up at Walmart. You can see that there pulling up at Walmart.
Yes, sir.
And pulling up, and Dre is saying, or to Dre, I'm on the side, from Dre, okay, pulling up. So
That's correct.
At the Walmart on September 3rd, is that right?
Yes.
And so this, you believe he is purchasing marijuana at this point in time?
Yes.
So on September 4th, this is to Dre, and what is he talking about here?
I got that money wherever you want it. He's informing Dre that he has the money from selling narcotics.
Again, I'm going to object to the interpretation of each of these messages.
And
May I have a running objection to each one, so I don't have to interrupt?
You may.
Thank you.
can that also be on September 4th? In all fairness, you may not know that he's got the money from selling marijuana. You just know he's got money.
That's correct.
And then then they're talking again about.
Excuse me, Judge, are we going to let the state now start telling him that his interpretations are wrong? Or, I mean, this is the problem with what we're doing. The state's telling him that his interpretation may be wrong, and now the jury has two that they can either pick from, and I may offer a third.
All right.
And we're going to objectively continue to do so.
Okay, let's move on, please.
What are they now talking about in this area here?
They are setting up a meet location, decide on a place that they can meet up, and it seems like they agreed on the Walmart.
So now I'm going to jump ahead to September 14th, and it's from Dre. What is he asking there?
Dre's asking for the money.
And to Dre, what's he asking? What's Mr. Love asking?
Mr. Love's asking Dre what is his location.
What is from Dre? What is this next one?
Meeting up with the plug.
What is a plug, do you know?
A plug is the larger scale supplier, the guy that supplies the source of narcotics to Dre.
And then to Dre,
Okay, just get up with me.
and then something from Dre. This is now 5 days later on the 19th. And the 22nd, this is the last question from Dre.
Man, where my money, bro?
There was also a State's Exhibit number 353, and is this a conversation he has with individual he's listed as Rico?
Yes.
This goes back to 8/6/2015,
Yes, sir.
and this is from Rico. What does he say?
Hey, my man, you got yet?
And then to Rico,
Yeah, I got you.
and to Rico.
You got corn.
What is corn?
Corn is, again, it's another name for Reggie or for low-grade marijuana.
And what is Rico's answer?
Yes.
And to Rico,
Need a sack.
and from Rico.
All right, I'm here.
That whole conversation happens from 8/9, basically on August 9th, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And again, to Rico on 8/16, what is this question there?
You got some green.
And what do you believe green to mean?
It's, again, referencing marijuana.
And from Rico? What's
Yeah.
the answer?
Yeah.
On August 31st, he sends to Rico a question. Says, what's his question?
What you got for sale?
You don't know what he's asking to buy, do you?
No.
And what is his response?
Got to ask my people.
And on September 1st, he says to Rico,
Okay, I know somebody needs something ASAP.
and from Rico on September 1st, he says,
Okay.
and then Rico asks, it looks like a question,
What size?
and on September 1st, he says,
Hand.
and then Rico says,
All right.
you know what that conversation is about?
No.
State's Exhibit 352. Is this a conversation he has with someone listed as TJ5?
Yes.
One other thing that I guess I haven't pointed out, as we go across the top of this extraction report, this last box says delete, is that right?
That's correct.
We learned earlier that if it says yes in there, that means he's trying to delete it.
That's correct.
So this starts on August 24th, is that right?
Yes.
And there's some conversations that's going on. He references here on line 39, from TJ5, there's an individual name, or they say Rich Homie with you. Do you know who Rich Homie is?
Yes, Rich Homie is a street name for Kelly Ellis.
And the answer is?
Yeah.
So this is a message from TJ5. Can I get that other chain? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You know what that's in reference to by any chance?
No, sir, I don't.
And the response back,
You got that money.
all right, that's the next day. So now we're on August 31st. And then this is from TJ5.
Oh, damn, yeah, my bad, I'll be back.
And then from TJ5 on September 3rd, 2015, he says,
Let me give you 20 for 5 dimes.
okay, and what does that mean?
Again, a dime is approximately 2 grams of marijuana. He's asking to give him a deal. Dimes normally go for $10 a piece, and he's asking for 5 of those, which is normal street value is $50. He's asking to get a hookup and get them for 20.
And the response back is what?
I'm going to just give you a half, referencing a half ounce of marijuana.
And on September 4th, there's some conversations back and forth, but then from TJ5, what is he talking about here?
He says, okay, I think my unc owed me, but I got $40. I'm going to give for more weed, or you can just give me bags.
So this is, would you classify this as TJ5 purchasing marijuana from Mr. Love?
Yes, based on those messages, it appears that he's a customer of Mr. Love.
On September 4th, on September 4th, you hear, tell me when you hear, this is from TJ5 asking about the Mexican girl here.
That's correct.
Later on September 18th, from TJ5,
What size was the green bags? 175, 175.
does that make any sense to you?
No, I don't know what the 175 stands for, but it appears he's asking about marijuana.
State's Exhibit 355. This conversations that he has with somebody he has listed as Nia.
That's correct.
So September 13th starts off with from Nia,
I'm awake.
okay, and then to Nia,
Okay, I hope so.
to Nia on, this is September 13th.
You still want a pimp?
Okay. Do you know what that, what he's asking there or how he's asking that?
No, I don't.
And the next one, a couple minutes later, what does he say?
I mean, do you want to? Because I'm not.
Okay, do you think that might be in reference to the being wanting a pimp or becoming a pimp or needing a pimp?
I believe it's in reference to needing a pimp.
It kind of sounds, well, he sends off a hello, and then from her, what does she respond back?
I mean, I feel like I can't really make any decisions until I'm mobile again. I can't sell dope or girls without transportation.
And what is his response back?
You got 5 now, you can get a car in about a week.
You know what the 5 is in reference to?
I believe it's referencing $500.
And the answer, she says,
How?
and this is again still September, this is to Nia.
We got to find you a hoe with a car first of all until you get one.
To Nia the next 2 minutes later.
Or I'm going to get high and you act like you my sister and we could just ride her shit.
You know what this is in reference to?
He referenced hoe in the early text message with pimp, so in street lingo that's commonly referred to prostitutes.
And then later on in that conversation, this is from Nia. What did she say?
You need money to make money. We're not going to get any good hoes with that. With what we have right now, I need to get a car, build a clientele base, and I need to have extra cash to throw money at these hoes, and I need a little apartment.
And then there's a response to that from Mr. Love that says,
Lady, you don't know what I got, and that's easy.
Your Honor, I am going to make an objection at this point. The prosecution keeps referring to these being responses from the defendant, and I think the testimony earlier, the statement was that Kelly Ellis is also using that phone. So I'm going to
I would object
object
to that. There's been no evidence that Kelly Ellison would use this phone.
in the portions of the interview that were pre-played to the jury there were, and for him to make this is a response from the user of the phone. He's trying to attribute those to the defendant. There's no evidence that this is the defendant's response.
Judge, I'm fine in terming this as coming from Love's phone.
That's fine, sustained, his objection is sustained.
And Detective Barnes, if I misled you in any way thinking that this is Mr. Love making these statements, but this is from Mr. Love's phone, which was caught with him on the back of his car that day. Is that right? When he was arrested?
Yes, and he also said during the interview that that number was his number.
Okay. And there's numerous pictures in that phone containing him and family members and things of that nature.
That's correct.
And then from the Nia number, what is her response?
Laugh out loud, oh yeah. Yeah, but I just need a car first and a little extra cash because I had to find clientele with no problem. I know the places to go. We can definitely do something.
So to Nia on September 13th.
How much do you have B100?
And then her response.
I have exactly 500.
And he continues on, or that phone continues on the conversation and says,
Okay, I know I got you. I'm going to help you flip it a couple of times. Just do go spend it on bullshit because you depressed and shit.
okay, and she responds,
Flip it. That's going to take too long and I'm not giving away my money anymore.
and And then the phone responds,
Give it to who you might have to use some from time to time, but I'm on a whole different hustle from the next nigga.
and then from her, it says, response back.
Okay, I'm saying I need to figure out how to get into a vehicle right now, and flipping drugs is a gamble and it takes too long.
And then he said, or the phone says,
Not drugs. I hate trap shit. Niggas get jealous too fast, like what's happened to me now.
this is still on September 13th, and there's a question of
So flip it like how?
the phone response.
I'ma show you, be cool.
On September 15th, there's a question to Nia, which is,
Can you rent cars?
the response,
I'm sure I can, but I think it would be expensive, and I think you have to be at least 25.
the response,
Damn, I forgot you a young nigga.
and then the response back.
I'm 23, not that young. I'm old as hell.
And the response back,
I'm 31.
and her response.
Yeah, you're extremely old.
There's a State's Exhibit 356. It's a conversation he has with someone by the name, or there's a conversation with Love's phone with someone by the name of Jeanette. Is that right?
That's correct.
And direct your attention to a conversation happening on September 13th. Starting here. WYD, have you ever heard that before?
Yes, I have.
What do you make of that?
It's a common abbreviation for what are you doing?
And the response?
Making some money. How about you?
And then 2,
Same shit, just bored while doing it.
from?
I'm getting high while I am, laugh out loud.
And the response to Jeanette?
I already knew that.
And to Jeanette?
I was just checking on your ugly ass.
And response starts here. It says,
Laugh out loud, fuck you ass white.
but
Thanks for your concern, I'm okay.
and then to Jeanette on September 13th, what does the phone say?
Yeah, you gonna be on my team one day. I gotta make sure you okay.
And the response?
Okay, and I will.
And then to her,
Just let me know when you're ready.
and from her.
Okay.
That ends the September 13th conversation. Now, the term being on my team, do you know what that means?
That term, based on the investigation, that term related to pimping and prostitution and actually working for Mr. Love.
Was there numerous entries in his phone for the website Backpage.
Yes.
And what is Backpage?
Backpage is a kind of a black market website to solicit sex and to promote prostitution.
Some images from Mr. Love's phone. Mr. Love's phone. States Exhibit 174. It's a little blurry, but what do we see in States Exhibit 174?
There's a pack of
Can you get the lights, please?
There is a package, the first item to your left, that's red and white with the yellow strip across the top. That appears to be a package of Swisher Sweet cigars. They're commonly used to roll marijuana, smoke marijuana.
What is this item you believe this to be?
That appears to be a bag of marijuana.
And then this right here, what does that look like to you?
That firearm is very similar to the weapon used in this murder.
There's a number of selfies taken by Mr. Love, is that right?
That's correct.
Show you States Exhibit 176. Is that Mr. Love?
Yes, it is.
States Exhibit number 178. Is that Mr. Love?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. And when Mr. Love was arrested for this offense, did you all take some pictures of him?
Yes, we did.
May I approach you? I'll show you what's marked in States Exhibit number 357, 358, 382. These all pictures are taken of Mr. Love at the time of his arrest.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
I'll show you what's marked in States Exhibit numbers 360, 361, and 362 are these pictures of Mr. Love later in time, closer to trial time.
That's correct.
We'll offer States Exhibits 357, 358, 382, and 360, 361, 362.
Okay.
Mission published. States Exhibit 357, is this the chest area of Mr. Love and the tattoos that he has on him?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And I want to direct your attention to this one here. What does he have written right above, or right underneath his neck, I guess?
Life or death.
And what's surrounding the phrase life or death?
There's approximately 6 different money signs.
States Exhibit number 358. This would be Mr. Love's left side.
That's correct.
And what does he have depicted on him there?
It appears to be some type of revolver or semi-automatic handgun.
Mr. Love's back. States Exhibit 382.
Yes.
What does he have written on his back?
Underneath the money sign, it says one-man army, and it's a picture of an AK-47.
Is that a semi-automatic or automatic rifle?
That's correct.
Is that a, and then do you know what these black dots are around him?
I don't know what those are.
Show Mr. Love again. These are the more recent photos. 360. See those same tattoos we saw in 357?
Yes, sir.
direct your attention to State's Exhibit number 361. This is of his back left shoulder. You see that black dot now?
Yes, sir.
And what's coming out of that black dot now?
Appears to be smoke.
State's Exhibit number 362. Is this also showing that same back area with the other 3 dots on Mr. Love's back?
Yes, it does.
And what's coming out of each one of those now?
Appears to be smoke coming out of those holes.
So now what would you attribute those black holes to be?
They appear to be bullet holes.
Are you familiar with the Dallas County Jail?
Yes, sir.
And is it a major violation to tattoo yourself or have yourself tattooed while being incarcerated?
That's correct.
Clearly that happened at some point in time because they weren't on there. If we look at State's Exhibit 382, they were not on there at the time of arrest. Is that correct?
That's correct. Bless you.
Remember in his interview when you all were talking about once you found the gun, later from the clips that what we showed, I think we showed this part to the jury, that after you told him that you found a gun, what was his response to that?
I believe he said, "Damn it, you got me with the gun."
Okay. And he picked up another what?
Another gun case.
Because he knows, is it a felony offense to be in possession of a firearm when you've been previously convicted of a felony offense?
That's correct. During that point in the interrogation, we stopped talking about.
What were you all talking about during that portion of the conversation?
During that portion of the conversation, we talked about him being in possession of firearms. We took the focus away from the murder and talked about the gun. After several minutes of talking about the gun, once I let him know we found it in his vehicle, he admitted to possessing the gun, and he held on to that statement of being in possession of the firearm. But I believe that it was during that time he was minimizing his role in the murder and pushing the gun charge out front, saying, "Hey, you got me on the gun charge, but I didn't do the murder."
One last extraction report that I want to talk to you about. This is a portion of extraction report to King. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And this is an excerpt from that same September 13th date that we've shown other parts from. And from King, what does King say?
You're really just trying to be a smart ass, but it's cool. You just feeling guilty.
And the response?
Nah, I'm thinking you're ready to start a new life, them your kids too, so they gonna be there. You thinking short term. I think long term for other people, cause my time's short.
To King?
Only time I ever felt guilty about something is stealing a $100 bill out my mama's wallet when I was 11, and I still ain't told her.
And King responds?
Bruh, my kids are good, always have been. I just need to see if like it or not, and see if you can be the dad you're supposed to be.
King also says?
And you should feel bad for doing that to the woman that gave you life.
Ambassador.
Detective, you went back and played the prosecutor played a few parts of the statement, and again, the parts of the statements detailing the lies that the defendant told were no different whatsoever than parts of the various statements that both Brenda Delgado as well as Kristopher gave you. I mean, all three of the people that you questioned in regards to this particular offense just lied continuously throughout their portions of the interviews. Is that not correct?
Yes, there was portions where lies were told, but there was also several portions where truth was in there. It was all sprinkled in together.
Okay, and there was no way for you to figure that out as you went through. And only now, with the advantage of hindsight, are you able to go in through there and attribute the difference between the lies and and what portions turned out to be in somewhat truthfulness. Is that correct?
Well, not necessarily now. There was points in the investigation that we used cell phone, video, statements, that we also looked in those stories to find out exactly what was true. There were some things that we could never determine whether they were true or not, but the things that we could determine were true were corroborated.
Well, but at the time that you were doing these interviews, you didn't have the phones because you got the phones when you were doing, at the time that you were doing these interviews, though, weren't you?
We got the phones later after the interviews. It was some point during that time period of the interview with Mr. Love that we had his phone dumped.
Well, you didn't have his phone dumped while he was present there at the scene and while you were questioning.
There was someone working on it, but I didn't have all that information readily available.
Yeah, and you didn't have Brenda Delgado's phone available when you're questioning her, and she's lying to you about all this.
Her phone was there. She gave consent to it while we were there, but the dump was completed later.
Correct. So the answer to the question is that no, you did not have it.
No, that's not correct. We did have access to her phone. She signed a consent. The dump was available later, but we had access to view the phone while we were interviewing her. The dump was just made available. The dump is actually the extraction of the data from her phone, but I could personally put in her passcode and physically read through her responses.
I believe that's all the questions I have for you this time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You may stand down.
Thank you.
All right, members of the jury, it's about 12:35. Let's take a lunch break until, let's see, 1:30, please.
We do 1:45.
You want to get together?
We do 1:45.
1:45.
All rise.